Hey guys, so recently I've been playing through SSA again, all my live streams. If you haven't checked those out, by the way, I'm going to be continuing streaming in mid-August, I think. So feel free to come in and check out my live streams, come and say hello, stuff like that. Anyway, I was sitting here and thinking about like what ideas and how I could incorporate my playthrough into a video, and then it kind of hit me. I could do the SSA boss fights ranked, and that's what we're going to be doing. Alright, so this video is basically going to be a ranking of all of the boss fights from Skylanders Spyros Adventure, from my favorite to my least favorite. The criteria for this video is basically if I had fun playing the boss and the concept of it is cool, then it's going to be higher up in my rankings. Now, what did I consider to be a boss in this game? I basically took every ending fight in each level as consideration for a boss. However, I found that only levels that I can quantify as a boss level were those where you collect eternal sources minus one of the eternal source levels, which there isn't a fight in. In addition to this, these 7 levels, I'm obviously going to be counting the final boss, and each extra level in the game, each adventure pack, has a boss fight in it. So those are all going to be in my ranking. Anyways, on to my ranking. Alright, so in last place is the Pirate Hideout. So this is from the Pirate Seas Adventure Pack, and it's basically one of the most boring boss fights I think that Skylanders in general has. Basically, you're driving around in the pirate ship, which is the only cool part of this, admittedly, and you're basically just destroying houses with nothing else. Like, it's just another turret section that you can't even control, so it's not that fun. Alright, so the wall is from the Empire Advice Adventure Pack. I think this is kind of like the Pirate Hideout, except for a bit more fun, because there's at least like power-ups you can get in the fight, which is actually kind of a cool aspect, and the wall in general is just more interesting than no-name buildings, because there's at least a health bar with this one, so. Alright, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but Kaos and the Hydra are next on the list, number 10 on this list. Sorry to say, for all of you fans of the final boss of this game, this is probably my least favorite part in SSA. For a game that is my favorite Skylanders game, this is just not that fun. Like, it's so underwhelming that the final boss fight is... It's not that it's, like, lame or anything, it's cool, but it's just so ridiculously unfun to play. I mean, you're just going back and fighting all of the minions from the other boss fights that you already did, with the addition of like just the Hydra all combined. It's basically just like all the Chaos fights combined into one, and it's a bit too hard. Like, I like a good challenge, but it gets hard, especially if you have like a melee Skylander. Then it's just ridiculously hard to play. So yeah, I'm sorry that I had to put it all the way down here. It's very low down, and I know that it probably shouldn't be this low down, but it is. Anyway. Alright, so the Undead source is also another case of it not being that fun. I mean, it's just another Chaos fight, but this time the Dragon or the Hydra power spell attack is not as fun. It's just kind of dodging lasers. It's unpredictable at times, and it's not that fun to dodge, so this is honestly my least favorite of the elemental source fights. Sorry to say, the minions are kind of fun to play against, because you could at least like learn their patterns and stuff like that, and then it becomes kind of fun to play against them, but it's still a bit too hard. But I'm not judging it off of the difficulty, but that has some weight on it. Alright, so the tech source is next. This is just a troll tank, and you're just basically throwing bombs at it if you want, and otherwise you're just getting down there, taking a few hits, and getting through this pretty easily, because it's probably the easiest boss fight on this list. I mean, I don't know. It might not be the easiest, but it's very, very, very easy. The health bar goes down just like that. I think I could beat it in like 3 seconds with a stealth elf. Anyways. So the fire source is next. I like this boss fight. I like the minions. I think that they're all very, very fair to fight. My biggest problem with this is the fact that the spell, it changes halfway through, and I would rather have kept it with just that rotating fire, not the fireballs coming down and hitting you. I would have just kept it with the rotating fire the entire time, as opposed to changing it up. But other than that, I think that this boss fight is pretty fun. It's just a regular Chaos fight with his minions, so nothing much to talk about, but it's alright. Alright, so next is the air source. So this is the first boss fight in the game, and it's not really an official boss fight, but I consider it to be one. It's basically you're just fighting the Drow fleet. So a bunch of like Drow Lance Masters, a bunch of Spell Punks, a bunch of Windbag guys, those little tornado guys that you see. The Drow, the Blitzer Bullies, there's a few of them as well. And other than that, it's not that hard. It's kind of fun to play. I mean, I enjoy it, so that's why it's up here. Very similar to the air boss fight. You're not actually fighting a boss here. It's more of just a fleet of enemies, and it's just like some Archean guys, some of the bomb guys, and then a few chompies. And again, it's not that hard. It's not ridiculously hard. But I do like this fight, especially because of the ending where you think you're going to fight Vathic, and then it turns out he just turns to stone because Flavius sat on the throne and kind of beat him in that. I do like that part, and I consider that to be not part of the boss fight, obviously, but it's in consideration with it because it's the aftermath. So it's pretty cool, and that's what brings it above the Drow fleet for me. And other than that, Dragon's Peak is a cool level, and I love the atmosphere of it. So that, of course, also plays a role. Alright, so next on the list is the life source. So this fight is fun for me because the spell is actually fun to play with. It's the one where you have to dodge the like caterpillar guys with the little green orbs that can damage you, and I think it's really fun. The minions are alright. I mean, Stealth Elf is kind of the easiest minion to defeat, period, and Zook isn't that hard either, but Storm Smash is a genuine challenge. And along with the life spell, I think that it is probably one of the best Chaos fights. Alright, so this is the best Chaos fight, the water source. So the minions are all super fun. I think that is the perfect combination of minions, and the spell is the best spell yet, the Doom Sharks. So they're classic for a reason, and that's the reason that you can summon Doom Sharks as Chaos in Trap Team and Imaginators, because they got it right with the Doom Sharks. I like that you can heal yourself. That adds like a bit of life to the level, like so that you can actually, you don't have to like die to one of the minions. You have a chance to heal yourself at least, and I do like that they also incorporated that in the final boss, but we're done talking about that. Anyway, the water source is high up on this list for a reason. It's pretty fun. Alright, so Oculus is taking the silver spot on this list. He is probably the best mechanic to defeat a boss, and I think it's kind of very interesting because it's really one of the only mechanics that they actually chose to defeating bosses in this game. Basically, you have to use this spectral like shifter, or whatever it's called. Basically, change the world. Use the gimmick of level to change to the undead world, and then shoot the cannon at him, and then you have to do that all again while dodging bark demons and his laser eye attack, and it's really a fun boss fight. So taking the number one spot on this list is the Earth Source Golem. So I think that he is just one of the coolest design bosses in this game. I mean, considering the rest of them were just repost Skylanders turned into villains, and then other than that, it's just a giant eyeball. I mean, he's probably the best designed boss. But other than that, I love that they chose a different approach to this source, having him be like the Earth Source's creation, and also his attacks are just pretty fun. He has like the shooting boulders from the sky, and then he can also like spin a boulder to try and hit you. I think that all of that is really cool, and I think it all just combines for a decent challenge pretty early in the game if you have like leveled down Skylanders, which you would if you're playing through the game for the first time. It's a decent challenge, and I think he's really fun, and that's why I think he's my favorite boss in this game. Alright, so that's my ranking. Now listen, before I get hate for putting the Chaos fight in third to last spot, really please consider that it's just not that fun, okay? No? Alright, fine. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.